Hello everyone and welcome back to my sewing room. If you're new to my channel, my name's Diane and I'm based in the heart of England, and I like to share with you the stories of the quilts that I make. And this week I would like to share with you the story of the 13 Hearts for Linus. And so, as you can guess from the not so imaginative name, it's a quilt for Project Linus, and there are 13 hearts in all around the place. And it's a scrappy quilt, and I'm really pleased with this because I've used up lots of the processed fabric that were left over from other quilts and small pieces, and it didn't take very long to put together at all. And that's because the work was already done in the cutting process. I did have quite a few half square triangles already made in the colours that I wanted for this, but also I cut 4 3/4 inch squares. I put two 4 3/4 inch squares right size together, sew around the outside, cut on the diagonal, and then I have half square triangles and 3-inch half square triangles. And I had lots of 4 3/4 inch squares cut out as well, so it came together really quickly. And I did a sort of rough count at the different designs, and there's over 40 different designs, so it's a real scrappy quilt. 40 different designs of different fabrics, batiks and cottons, and it's been washed. The back, there's a soft, that was a cotton curtain, brand new, that I managed to get in a charity shop, and there's white with little purple on. I'll show you better images on the line. So this quilt came together because in the centre you can just see, if I show you, there's some grey and red hearts on an off-white background, and I'd had this fabric for quite a long time. It's a French fabric, and I'd used it in another project. I'd made another heart quilt a while ago, and these were the leftover pieces, and I didn't really know what to do with them. I wanted to keep them together, and so I thought earlier in the year, when I made another heart quilt around Valentine's Day, I would make a heart, and there was just enough of this red and grey to put a border around it. So that was the story of that quilt, the start of the quilt. And then I realised that if I wanted to continue the size of it, because I'd put that border around, which was a 3-inch border, I needed a 3-inch band. So I had this red batik, and I thought, well, I'll border that together, and now I can fit 2 hearts. You can just see they fit beautifully across the width and the side, and then I just needed a corner for each one, and then I've put a 3-inch border around with some of this lovely heart fabric that I've used inside, and then it's a self-binding and put together with a simple crosshatch. So I decided when I came back from visiting my sister that I would use up the batting. I didn't really know where to go, what sort of project to start on. I have got works in progress, and I wasn't really inspired to do very much, and so I thought, well, the batting has been in the cupboard for quite a while, and I want to get rid of all the small pieces. And so I thought, well, I'll sew those together and make it a quilt. And so I have. And so this is pieced batting, 100% cotton batting, and it's been washed and it's now ready to go. And so what I'll do now is I'll show you how I put this quilt together. Like I say, it's very simple. I haven't put a design together because it is just the same block repeated, and I'll show you that now. is the story of 13 Hearts for Linus. And like I say, it's all ready to go now. Put that in my cupboard with the wonky quilt that I made last week. So there's 2 ready to go. And I looked at the batting and I think I've probably got enough bigger pieces to put together to make another one. And so if I show you the design all behind me, oops, you can just see that's the start of another one. And so playing around with some fabric that was donated to me to make quilts for Project Linus. So thank you, Estella. I am getting round now to looking in there and seeing what I can do. And I think that'll make a nice size quilt. So there's a couple of things on the board that I'm going to change. I'm not sure yet how I'm going to finish that. I'm just playing with the fabrics and we'll see what happens. Hopefully I might share that with you next week. And so that is all of the sewing for this week. I learnt another new skill. I'll share that one with you. It's not sewing related, it's mayonnaise. And it's one of these things that I eat mayonnaise most days because I start off my day with a couple of Rivita biscuits with a boiled egg in egg mayo for breakfast. And I thought I really need to make my own mayonnaise because, you know, there are additives in the shop bought ones. And I'd seen quite a few of these YouTube channels where they said, oh, it's so easy to make, and they show you it and they just use a container, a narrow container with a stick blender. They put the ingredients in and they go zhoop, whoop, and it's finished. And you've got mayonnaise. And I thought, oh, I bet it's not as simple as that, because when mayonnaise used to be made, you used to whisk it and there was always the possibility of it splitting and things. And so I thought, I bet it's not that easy. Anyway, I tried it and it is. And it's delicious. I've made mine with virgin olive oil. I'm going to be tweaking the flavours. It looks a bit yellow because I always put turmeric in, or turmeric, in everything because it's good for you. And so, yeah, mayo. So I'm dead chuffed with that. The garden. Haven't been able to get out into the garden this week. The weather has been horrendous. I'll show you some footage. I stood on the back doorstep and we've had everything. And I caught the hail one day. And I have cleared a little bed for some herbs. I've decided underneath the plum tree that there's enough space there just to put some fresh herbs. And so I've lifted everything out of that little patch. It's only a tiny piece of land, and I've put those around primulas mainly, and some can't remember what else. Anyway, whatever else was in, I've just replanted around the garden. And so all of the rain that we've had has helped to settle them in. They're all looking okay. And so we'll see how they get on next spring. It's mainly a little spring patch, that was. And I thought, well, I like to use fresh herbs when I'm making things, salads and soups and things like that. So I thought, well, I'll grow my own. I used to when I had an allotment, and so I thought I'll give over this little space and we'll see how it goes. So it's cleared, there's fresh soil on, it's all been dug through, and now I'm just waiting for the weather to warm up a little bit to put the herbs out. I've got some sage, some oregano, or oregano, is that how you say it in America? And some French tarragon and some chives. That's hardy. I've got chives popping up all over the place. And some dill. My husband likes dill. So I'm going to put those out, and hopefully we'll get a nice little herb bed established when the weather warms up a little bit. So I'll show you that as it grows. Elsewhere in the garden, everything's doing okay. No damage with the hail or anything. And we didn't go below freezing, luckily. So we had plenty of rain and high winds and, like I say, hail, but it hasn't damaged the young plants coming through. So when there's some colour, I'll show you that. Oh, the first rose opened. Oh, smells glorious. Really, really beautiful. I'll show you a picture of that too. And that's it, I think, really, for this week. So, mayonnaise, new skill, very proud of. I'm thinking I might put some tarragon or some dill in that fresh. That would be nice. I always put a little bit of garlic salt in because I love garlic too, so that always goes in. What else? Nothing. That's it. So, I don't suppose that there are any youngsters watching, but my heart goes out to all of the youngsters in the UK who are taking their GCSEs at the moment. Our teenage granddaughter, who is 16 this week, she is taking exams on her birthday, which seems so unfair. But yeah, we're all going out tomorrow as a family to celebrate her birthday. And apart from that, I shall be working on this. So they're my only plans. So whatever you're doing this week, see if you can learn a new skill. I can't tell you how proud I am of myself. You can probably tell for making this mayonnaise, because it does work like that. You put the stick blender in. You have to cover the egg yolk with this stick blender. There's plenty of recipes on YouTube. Have a look. There's all different ones. Put the ingredients in that you like. And I used the whole egg because I didn't want to throw away the white, and it works perfectly well. And it was got mayonnaise, and it's lasting for, you know, days. So we'll see how long it does last. So I'm only making small batches, so enough for me to have every day for a week. And I will see you again next week. Enjoy your sewing, enjoy any new skill that you manage. I am thinking of new skills. I always think of Marion and my embroidery. I might make another leaf. I'm thinking I might make another ivy leaf this weekend. So I will catch you up next week with some other quilty chat. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for your company. I'll see you again soon. Bye.